Hey guys, hope you guys are doing well. Um, Miss you guys a lot, and I hope that everything's going okay where you're at. So today we're gonna do a class focusing on opening up the superficial back line of the fascia, because I'm sure your backs and hips and stuff are tired from working. Um, so we're gonna need a block and a strap. If you don't have a normal yoga strap, you can use a resistance band or something like that, just to kind of lengthen the or shorten the distance between your hands to your feet. So you can use resistance band or a stretch out strap or anything you have like that nearby, and then we'll get started. So we're gonna come to our mat, lie down on our backs, and get going here. So um, make sure that you have your props nearby. We'll grab them as we go. Sorry, I'm going to pull up our class here. So we're going to start with our strap. Make sure you have the strap in hand and then come down onto your back. So we're going to keep our left foot on the ground, bring our right knee in towards us, and put the strap or the band wherever we're at around on the strap. And we're going to hold it in the center here and take a few deep breaths. So just relaxing the shoulders onto the mat, relaxing the muscles in the face, taking deep breaths into the belly. So as you exhale, just imagine that you're trying to blow bubbles through a little bubble wand. So kind of purse your lips gently and slowly control that release of your exhale. We'll stay here in the center breathing and just start to bring a little bit more activation to the muscles on the back of the leg. So gently press up into the strap and pull down on the strap at the same time. Feel this activation through the calf and into the hamstrings. Pull the toes back towards the face. We'll take one more deep breath here in the middle. You can take a little pulse through your leg as well if you want to add some movement to the pose, make it a little bit more active instead of being so static. We'll just take some deep breaths here. Slide your left foot forward nice and slow so your left leg is long on the ground. Take an inhale. On your exhale, bring that right leg out to the side. Right elbow comes down to the ground, and we'll keep the chest, belly, and pelvis facing up towards the ceiling. So we're just moving from the pelvis, the hip joint, and not trying to tilt our low back or our pelvis at all. So the whole structure of the hips should still be relatively neutral in the center. And you can try to kind of turn the heel up and the toes down slightly. And that's going to move the stretch a little bit more back into the back of the leg and some different muscles instead of just into the groin. Continuing to breathe nice and deep. Exhale, bring that leg across the body over to the left. So now I have my right shoulder on the ground. My left hand is holding the strap. Trying to turn my chest up towards the ceiling and my gaze. And then bring a little bit more space into that right side of the body by just gently rolling that right hip a little forward. So it's pretty small, but you can kind of see there my hips just kind of moved away from me slightly, and I feel a little bit more space from my right shoulder to my right hip. And it changes the sensation in that right glute as well. Gently press forward into the strap and pull back on the strap at the same time, continuing to breathe into your belly. Inhale, come back up to the center. Bend the knee, take the strap off of the foot, and then pull the knee in towards the midline and into the belly. Roll out the ankle. Go clockwise first. Sorry. And then counterclockwise. Good. And put the right foot on the ground. Bring the left knee in, slide the strap, the band, or whatever you're using around the ball of the left foot. Keep gentle pressure down into the right foot and the right knee up to the sky. Press forward and up into that strap with the left foot. Relax your shoulders onto the ground and just feel a nice, even, neutral, aligned spine on your mat. A little heaviness in your hips. Breathe into the back of the leg. Find some length there, and we'll add a little pulse there as well. So just a little bit of movement to get a little bit of blood flow through those muscles. Breathing into the belly, keeping the muscles in the upper body nice and relaxed. Press your left foot up into the strap and pull down on the strap at the same time. Really pull those left toes towards your face. Breathe into your belly. Feel that activation through the back of the left leg. Slowly slide your right leg long on the mat. Press down into the back of the right leg. Keep the strap in your low as a little kickstand. Press down into the back of the right leg. Try to use your core and turn your belly, chest, and pelvis up towards the ceiling. Little bit of rotation in the femur on the left side. Pressing forward into the strap and gently pulling back on the strap at the same time. So we feel lots of activation, length, and engagement on that whole left leg. You know it's intense. Try to keep breathing and keep your face. Switch the strap or the band to your right hand and allow the left leg to fall across the body to the right. Keep this left shoulder on the earth. Reach that leg over to the right. Press through your left heel. And again, same thing here too. We want to find a little bit more space on this left side of the body. So roll the left hip forward. Breathe into the sensation, especially if you're feeling a lot of nerve sensation. Just try to breathe down into your belly and into your hips. One more breath into the belly. Finding length, finding stillness in each pose. Inhale, come back to the center. Bend your knee, take the strap off. Just place it to the side. We most likely won't need to use it the rest of the class, but it's always nice to have it nearby, just in case. Pull the left knee in. Interlace the fingers on top of the knee. Take a couple ankle circles with the left foot. Breathing into the belly. Try to breathe the belly up into that left thigh. Create a little bit of engagement and pressure there. And then counterclockwise with those ankle circles. Really get the toes going, remember. And then we'll release the leg to the ground. Coming into bridge, grab your block. Place the block that middle way, so not thin and not wide, so that middle way in between the upper thighs. Squeeze in on the block with your inner thighs. Place your feet wherever would feel comfortable so that when we lift up, your knees feel okay. So you don't need to be super far in towards the glutes. Don't want to be super far forward because you'll only feel it in your hamstrings. So just find that nice in between. Spread your toes, squeeze the block, and press down. Lift your hips up. You can kind of wiggle your shoulders under your chest if you want some more openness there. I always rest my fingers on my hips and allow myself to kind of feel that my glutes are doing the work here. If you feel that you're pushing too much into the hips and the low back, just lightly lower in the upper back a bit and lengthen the back of your tailbone towards the back of your knees. You can always bring your hands on the tops of your thighs as well, and then we'll feel some activation through there, typically by bringing a little feedback loop. So we feel those glutes really on. We're gonna stay here and just squeeze in on the block 15 times. So we're just toning in on the block and relaxing. Toning in on the block and relaxing. So 15 of those. So 2, 3, breathe the whole time. 4, 5, follow my count. Don't rush through these. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Use your core. Start from the top of your vertebrae and your spine and roll down nice and slow. Hips will touch last. You can see I still have a little space here. And then hips, bring your hands back down. This time, press down into the earth. Lift the hips up. Same thing first. Make sure the glutes are on and you're not feeling any sensation in this low back. So lower the top of the portion of the ribs if you need to. Lengthen the tailbone. Get some length in the low back and feel some squeeze in the glutes. Once you feel that activation through the glutes, lift and lower the heels. So stay up in the hips, lifting and lowering the heels. Keep that going. Reach your hands to the sky. Pull back on your right fingertips. So that I just have my palm facing the sky like I'm trying to stand on the ceiling. And then pull back on the right fingertips. So the whole palm and the whole wrist should get a little stretch. Maybe into the forearm as well. Keep breathing, keep lifting and lowering the heels. Heat is very refining. This is how we get through the hard stuff to get stronger. Go through the other side. So pull back on those left fingertips. Feel the sensation. Don't turn your brain off from the sensation in the legs. And just try to breathe through that. I'm doing it with you, so I feel it too. We'll take one more big breath. It's like a little shot of espresso. Relax, and then all the way down. Use your core. Don't just let your hips fall to the ground. Good. We're going to keep working in the hips, but now we're going to do it with our hips resting on the block. So press down through your hips, or your feet, sorry. Lift your hips up. Slide the block under your sacrum. So that's the top portion of the glutes, the back upper portion of the pelvis, and the base essentially of the spine, where we feel this little triangular plug. Bring your left knee in towards you. Lightly press into the right foot on the ground. Left knee stays, then internally rotate. So we've done these just on our backs before. So same thing as normal, as usual, but now just the supported block underneath us. It's a little bit more length for the low back. And hopefully we can really isolate this movement here. It is very restorative for the hip joint, but we should feel muscle activation happening as well because our TFL and our T-band and other outer glute muscles really help with rotating the femur. So we should definitely feel some light burn in there. Breathe into your belly. Keep your shoulders and your face relaxed. Remember to keep your ankle still and just move from the femur. place the left foot down. So just notice left to right before you move right ahead into the other side. You can see if you feel a little bit more warmth, a little bit more strength and openness, especially into the actual joint itself. Right knee comes in, flex the right foot, same thing, rotate the knee in, foot out, foot in, knee out. So just kind of windshield wipering the leg back and forth, isolating the movement just in the hip. So the rest of the body is really still. You can bring your right hand to your outer right hip and feel those muscles moving and activating and doing their job of helping you to rotate your femur. Feel into that hip joint. See if you can even imagine in your mind's eye the head of your femur bone into the hip socket. Think about how that's massaging out any stuck fascia, getting some lymphatic stuff going, some synovial fluid. Really good for keeping the hip joint happy and hydrated. Bring the right foot down. Inhale and bring your left knee in towards your chest. Same thing, keep a 90-degree angle in your knee and your foot. This time, just tap the heel down and bring it in. So keep some pressure down into that right foot on the ground, lifting and lowering through this left leg. So now just pure hip flexion. So we did some hip rotation. So now we're just getting into flexion. So that's going to help our hip flexor muscles, our psoas, those types of muscles that are in the lower abdominals and into the leg. So you should feel in this front portion of the hip crease, you want to feel some burning, some warmth in there, as those muscles tend to be pretty weak. And especially, I know you guys aren't sitting as much, but can be really tight postural muscles. So a few more like that. Good. Other side. Right knee in. Just tap the right heel down and bring it back in. So everything stays the same. You're just hinging at the hip, flexing, and bringing it forward. Feel into that. You can stick your right fingers into your right hip crease. Just make sure those muscles are doing their job. Lightly press into the left foot. That's going to help with some cross-body activation of the muscles. We'll do 2 more. Good. And down. Straighten your left leg forward. You might want to bring your right foot out to the side slightly and definitely press down into that right foot for this next one. Straighten the left leg forward. Keep the left knee at the same level as your right knee. Move it out and in. So just deep breaths as you move the leg out and in, abducting and adducting the leg. But it's not a very big movement. So you don't have to do very much to feel it in this outer hip and the inner thigh. So you should feel both things. A lot is happening there. Keep breathing. You can always keep your hands on your hips to keep them nice and stable. And just breathe into your belly. Try to keep your neck and face relaxed. Try not to hold any of the tension there. 2 more. 1, 2, and down. So just take a breath in the center for a moment. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So again, if you want to, I like to keep my hands resting on my hips for this. Walk your left foot out slightly to the side. Press down into the left foot. Right leg long. Keep the right knee level with the left. Move it out and in. So I'm almost using my right hand to help kickstand or prop up my right hip so I'm not tilting my pelvis to the side when I have the weight of the right leg going out. So keep breathing. Feel into the hips. Keep some pressure in that left foot. Remember, not a very big movement. Doesn't have to be very big to feel a lot of sensation. Breathing into the belly. Good. 2 more. And relax. Good. Bring the left knee in. Place the left foot on top of the right knee and just let it relax. Don't need to, like sometimes we will, you don't need to kind of push the left knee open. This time, just let it relax. Let gravity kind of help here. Keep a little bit of pressure in that right foot. And again, you can walk it in or out, whatever you need to do to help make sure your pelvis stays level on the block here. We're going to add on a little bit of opening in the hip here. Reach down for your left thigh. Hold, grab onto the fleshy part of the left thigh and just press it forward out at the ankle of your left knee. So you want to feel that you're creating some almost like a gapping sensation in this left hip. Breathing down into the belly and sending the breath into the hips there. So take 1 more breath. It's not a huge sensation, but you should just feel something maybe a little different, like you're getting some space. Maybe like a little pocket of air is being opened or released in that left hip. Then we'll bring it back in. Place the left foot down and do the other side. Right knee comes in, right foot on top of left knee. Just let the knee relax, so don't force it forward. Let it relax as open as it will go right now. No need to feel like it needs to be any certain position. Grab a hold of the flesh of your right thigh. Push it forward out at the angle of your right knee. Breathe into your belly. Feel into that space in the right hip. Maybe open your mouth and let out a nice exhale. Releasing any tension you're holding in the jaw. Slowly come back to the center. Put your right foot down. Press into your feet. Lift your hips and bring your hips to the earth nice and slow. We'll do just a little bit of core just for a moment. I know that might sound counterintuitive if we want to stretch the back, but because we're engaging the front muscles, we're allowing the back muscles to relax a little bit if they're overworked. So it is nice to help actually with any back pain if we get the core to engage. So we'll do just a couple things. Take the block again, skinny way between your knee points. So not between your upper thighs, right between the points of your knees. So reach down and put it there. Interlace your hands behind your head. You'll keep your elbows pointed up to the sky the whole time so that you can keep any pressure out of the neck, okay? So big inhale. The elbows can open wide for a moment while we take a nice deep breath. Exhale, bring the elbows in and come up off your shoulder blades. Squeeze in on the block with your inner knees. So up off the shoulder blades, and we're really pushing down into this low portion of the spine to make sure the core is really engaged. Inhale and come down. We'll add on as we continue to breathe and lift. So always make sure you're keeping contact with your low back into the mat and keeping pressure in, good pressure in on the block between your knees. We'll also make sure our hands are always there for our head so that our neck can stay nice and relaxed. So no pulling on the neck muscles. Big inhale, exhale up. So all the things we just talked about. Back down, squeeze the block. Straighten the left leg forward. Flex the toes. Hold it. Come off the shoulder blades. Relax the head into the hands. Pull the belly together into your center. Left foot down. Inhale and come down. Exhale, come up. We'll do the other side. So right leg straightens, flex the toes, squeeze the block, press down into the low back.
Hold it. Pull everything up and in the center. Right foot down. Inhale and lower. Exhale, come up. Left leg straightens. This time, twist a little to the left. Stay up off this left shoulder blade here. Hold it. Back to the center. Left foot down. Inhale and lower. Exhale, come up. Right foot straightens. Right leg straightens. Come off the shoulder blades. Press into the low back. Squeeze the block. Twist to the right. Hold it. Stay up off the right shoulder. So we get a nice little added spinal twist in here as well. Inhale, center, right foot down, and lower. Exhale, come up. Left leg straightens. Twist a little to the left. So same thing, one more time. Breathing into the belly. If you want, you can hover your right foot, but that adds a lot. Foot down if you did that. Back to the center. Left foot down and head down. Take a big inhale. Exhale, lift up. Straighten the right leg. Turn slightly to the right. Squeeze the block. If you want, hover the left foot. Left foot down. Center the head. Right foot down and lower. Last time, one more thing we're going to add on. Inhale. Exhale, lift up. Left leg straightens. Twist a little to the right. Right up off that left shoulder blade. Hand behind the head. Center. Left foot down. And head down. Last time. Inhale. Exhale up. Right leg up. Twist to the right. Left arm reaches on the outside. Try to really reach through that left hand. Let it help you lift up. Squeeze the block. Squeeze the belly. Breathe. Good. Hand behind the head. Center. And all the way down. Keep the block where it's at. Bring your knees over your hips. Slide the block a little forward so that some of the block is between your shins. Bring your hands out or your arms out to a T shape with your palms down. So knees over hips, block between knee and shin, arms to a T with the hands down. We'll take our knees over to the left, but we're not going to let the weight of our legs hold up, drag us down. So it's still a core move, but you're also getting a nice spinal twist and stretch. So inhale, center. Exhale, knees to the right. Don't let that left shoulder come off the ground. Hold the core steady. Feel that stretch from left shoulder to left hip. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. So hold it. Engage the core. Feel that stretch from right shoulder to right hip. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. We'll go a little quicker, but keep breathing nice and deep. Inhale, center, and keep the core engaged. Exhale, left. Both shoulders stay down. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Gaze stays to the sky. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Last one to each side here. Inhale, center. Pull the belly in. Exhale, right. Good. Bring it in. Take the block out and meet me in a tabletop position. So bring your hands under your shoulders. Spread your fingers apart. Let's get into the spine and the hips a little bit more. Start with a cat-cow. Inhale. Keep the elbows straight, but you can have them a little bent. And just so you're not locking the elbows out. Inhale, chest comes down between the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Pull your shoulders away from your ears and lift the tailbone towards the sky. Gaze lightly forward towards the top of your mat. Exhale, press actively into your hands to round your spine. Pull your shoulder blades apart and breathe on the back. Belly's pulling up, tailbone is pulling up as well. Exhale, round, chin to chest. Press actively through your hands. Spread the shoulder blades apart and push the upper back towards the ceiling. Inhale, cow, gaze ahead. Pull the shoulder blades on the back. The back muscle should be active here. Exhale, round. Tilt the pelvis, pull the chin in. You can kind of shimmy on this last one. Any hips side to side, anything that would help kind of keep stretching that fascial line on the back there. Awesome. Back to the center. Bringing some shoulder push-ups in here now to help open up the upper back as well. On an inhale, we'll press through our hands, press our upper back towards the sky, our shoulder blades spread apart, and lightly draw your chin in towards your throat. Exhale, drop your chest between your shoulder bones, pull your shoulder blades together, and let your neck relax. Inhale, pull up, up with the throat, up with the chin, press through the heel of the hands. So 5 more like that. Inhale, or exhale down. Inhale up. So just like that, gazing at the ground. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Squeeze the shoulder blades here. Belly is engaged. Not much is happening in the low back. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more. Inhale up. Elbows underneath your shoulders here, and your hands to kind of clasp there like that. I don't want you to sink into your shoulder blades like this. So this is going to be a more relaxed position for the upper body, but I want the shoulders to stay active. So no sinking down like this. Push actively into your elbows so you're engaged and your shoulder blades are on your back in a neutral position. Once we're in that position, let your head gaze back toward your knees. So if you are sinking into your shoulder blades, your head will touch the ground. So we don't want that. Let's press down into the shoulder blades and gaze back so our head can be free and we can get a nice neck relaxer there. Straighten your left leg back. So you might need to bring your right knee in slightly. Point the toe. Just 5 here to strengthen the back of the leg. So 5 lifts with the leg long and just to the height of the hip. So 1, 2, really squeeze all leg muscles. 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to bring this knee forward and take it into a hip circle. So 5 clockwise, then 5 counterclockwise. So clockwise first. Around in the circle. Try to keep the hips nice and steady. So it doesn't have to be 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. So same thing. Press down through your elbows. Let your head relax with your gaze back towards your knees. Bring that left knee in slightly to the midline. Stretch the right leg back. Point the right toes. 5 long leg lifts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then 5, 4, and 5. Counterclockwise. 5, 4. Back up on your hands here. Hands underneath your shoulders. We'll do a small core move with a little back stretch. Stretch the right leg long. Keep the right foot at the level of your hip, so not up here and dipping your spine. So nice engaged belly, right leg is long. You can point the toe. On our exhale, draw the knee forward, cat the spine. So round it like we just did in our cat pose and try to bring your forehead toward your knee. Inhale, leg long, squeeze the glute and squeeze the back of the leg. Exhale, round your spine, really press into your hands and bring your knee towards your forehead. 3 more like that. Inhale back. Exhale, round and pull your belly up and in. Inhale back. Exhale. Inhale, bring the leg long and just hold it back there again for a moment. Rotate your foot out so you have a little external rotation of the right femur. And then extend it up a little and then over to the side behind your left leg. We're going for an active lengthening of the TFL on the outside of the right hip. So it won't necessarily feel like a stretch of the right outer hip, but it should feel like some lengthening, some active lengthening. Back to the center and down. So we'll take the other side. You can always sit back, roll out your wrists for a second before we move ahead. Okay, left side. Stretch the left leg back. Tuck the toes first, engage the core, and turn on the glutes. Lift the left leg up. Point the toe. Inhale, exhale, bring the knee forward towards the forehead and really ground the spine. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, round it in. Inhale, leg long, core is engaged, glutes engaged. Exhale, pull the belly up and in, press through the heel of your hands. Inhale, long. Exhale, pull it in. One more. Inhale, long. Exhale, really pull it in, nice and active. Last one. Inhale back. Rotate the toes out and the heel in. So it's minor, but it's a little external rotation. Extend the hip up a little bit and then reach it back across you towards the right side. So like towards the right back corner of your mat. Hold it long. Good. Back to the center and down. Let's take a little child's pose. Toes together, knees wide, sink the hips back as far as they'll go. Reach the hands forward and nice long arms. We're gonna come from this position and do a short sequence that will work on strengthening some of the back, stretching some of the back, and strengthening the glutes. It's also an extremely humble and surrendering little flow. We'll go through it about 3 or 4 times, and hopefully by the 3rd or 4th time, it'll be a little bit more like a dance, and you can kind of get into the flow of it. So we're coming from our child's pose. Inhale, just kind of reach your legs and arms long. Slide one leg back at a time. Come into a cobra. So your hands are under your shoulders. Roll your shoulders back, tops of the feet on the earth. Squeeze the glutes. Inhale, lift up. So we get a little length in the low back by just engaging the glutes and strengthen the upper back. Pull those shoulders really onto the back there. Exhale down. Inhale, do a push-up onto your knees and straighten your arms out and press your hips back to child's pose again. Inhale, slide your hands back, stand up on your knees. Reach your hands forward and up, overhead. Reach long, so nice long spine, core is engaged, and glutes are on. Back cobra, so that's the little sequence. So cobra, inhale, roll the shoulders back, chest is open, spine is long. Exhale down. Just a half push-up here, so push up onto your knees, keep your core engaged. Hips go back into a child's pose. Inhale, slide your hands back, arms go out and up, overhead.
You can lightly gaze up as long as that feels okay. Squeeze the glutes, keep the core engaged. Exhale, bow forward to the spine more times. Inhale, shoulders back, chest open, cobra. Exhale down. Inhale, half push up. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale, slide the hands back, out, and up. Exhale, bow forward, hips to heels, spine long. Inhale to cobra, belly to the ground. Lift up, shoulder blades back. Exhale down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, stand on your knees. Reach the arms up. Exhale, bow. Child's pose once more. Inhale, exhale to cobra. Good. All right, let's come up from here. Great job. Hopefully you enjoyed that little sequence. Feels really good, kind of flowy. We've got a couple more minutes here, so we're gonna go through a little sun salutation series. Not anything too intense. However, you might want your block or 2 blocks to lengthen your reach from your arm to the ground on some of these. So we'll go through just one time on each side. So come into a standing position. Big inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Step the right foot back. Bring the right knee to the ground. Keep the right toes tucked. Inhale, come up. Squeeze the right glute. Make sure your hips aren't tipping forward or rounding your back like that. So up nice and tall. Hips are underneath the shoulders and we're not spilling the belly forward. Squeeze the right glute. Take your right arm underneath your left and just hold opposite shoulders here. So it kind of looks like this. From our belly, we're gonna take an inhale, lift up, exhale and twist and try to bring our elbows to touch our thigh. So inhale up, exhale, twist and forward. Inhale up, exhale, twist and forward. Inhale up, exhale, twist from the ribs. Keep the pelvis pointing forward. Inhale up, exhale, twist and tap. Last one. Inhale up, exhale, twist and tap. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Place the left hand on the left thigh and reach the right arm over your body to the left. So you get a nice stretch in that right front of the thigh and hip. Inhale, back up. This time, take your hands down on the inside of your left foot. So both hands are on the inside of the left foot there. Either stay here and just kind of work into opening this left hip, or you can come a little further down. You can use your block, come to your forearms on the block, or lower the block, whatever feels good. You can try to come down just from here and just kind of let your head relax wherever you're at. Even if you're up here, let the head relax and look back towards that right thigh. Inhale and come up. Stand on that right knee. We'll bring the hands forward. Lift the back right knee up and step the left foot back. So we're in a plank pose. Drop the knees, bend the elbows, and come down to your belly. One inhale to cobra. Exhale down. Do that half push up again.
tuck the toes, and lift into down dog. So you can always have your knees super duper bent here. Keep your feet about hip width distance apart, little bend in your elbows, turn your elbow points forward, and keep your spine super long. Thinking about your hips being the apex of this pose, like the top of a tent. Gaze forward. We're just gonna walk our feet and hands forward like a little baby deer. Belly to thighs. Inhale all the way up. So now we'll do the other side. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, hips back. This time, step your left foot back, bring your left knee to the ground with the toes tucked. Inhale and come up. Squeeze the left glute, stack the hips over the knee, shoulders over the hips. Left arm under right arm. Grab opposite shoulders, elbows are pointing forward. Inhale, lift up out of the bowl of the pelvis, twist from the ribs, and bring the left elbow towards the right thigh. Inhale, come up. Exhale, twist, and come forward. Inhale up. Exhale, twist, and forward. Inhale up. Exhale, twist, and lean. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, twist from your ribs. Come forward from your neck. Inhale up. Twist, and come forward on your exhale. Inhale, center. Squeeze that left glute, realign your hips if you need to. Right hand on your right thigh, left arm up, reach from under your left armpit. Side bend to the right. Keep that left glute on a lot. 1 more breath, you can let your head relax if you want some space in the neck. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, bring your hands down inside your right knee. If you want, stay here on your hands, come a little lower, or use your block and bring your forearms to the block. We're just gonna hold it here, keeping our spine really long. So if you're trying to get down and you're having to go like this, use the block and try to get some length in that spine. You see that difference? So not rounding to get down and forcing it, but keeping the spine long and hinging from the hips. That's how we're gonna get a nice opening on the outer hip on the right side and the inner thigh usually as well. Relax your head. We'll take 1 more breath here. Inhale, come up. Place both hands on the sides of your right foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee. Send your right foot back. Hold it in plank for just a second. Squeeze those glutes. Knees down. Come to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down. Tuck the toes. Do a half push-up again. Lift your knees. So press down and back through your hands. So a nice active pose. We get a big stretch on the back and into the hamstrings and backs of the legs. So remember at the wall, if I use this wall here, hands on about the height of my shoulders, press my hips back. So I'm getting the same kind of length in the spine if we're feeling like this is too demanding right now. Bend your knees, walk your hands back towards your feet, and come up nice and slow. Turn, west on your mat, or face me, whichever direction. Nice wide stance. Just a couple little side lunges and stretches here before we come down to the ground and pull down. So hands on the hips to start. We'll hinge forward from our hips. We can reach for our block if we want some extra length through the arms as well. So the ground feels far, use the block. Stay here
and then just bend one knee at a time. So you're kind of gliding from the hips side to side, sinking your weight back into your heels, so try not to stay too far forward and shoot your knee in front of your ankle. Sit back into the weight of the heels and use the glutes to stabilize. Gaze down at the ground. Keep the spine really long. And just glide from side to side here. If you get into it and you feel like the ground feels a little bit more attainable, you can get your hands to the ground. Just keep your weight back into your heels. Even if we're on the block, we're going to get a little last back stretch here. So just bend into the left knee and just bring your right shoulder towards your right knee. So the right leg is long, left knee is bent, right shoulder towards right knee. Relax your head. Center, bend the right knee, and then left shoulder towards left knee, and let the head relax. So same thing again. Center, you can always stay in the center and just do a hamstring stretch if the movement is feeling like a lot. Bend the left knee, right shoulder towards right knee. Let the head relax. You can reach your left arm really far forward. Inhale, center. So I'll bring a block with me this time. Right knee bends, weight into the right heel, left leg long. You can use the block here off to the side, and then if you want, you can always bring the right hand onto the block. You want to feel a huge stretch on this whole right side and this left inner thigh. Back to the center. Use your block, just one or two, or just about 4 or 5 of these here. Right hand on the block. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Keep the hips stable and pointing down. Inhale up. Allow your gaze to follow your hand. Exhale, down. Last one. Inhale up. Twist from the ribs. Exhale, down. Other side. Left hand down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, reach it through and under. Inhale up. Exhale, reach it through and under. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Good. Put the weight into your heels, bend your knees, and come up nice and slow. And just shuffle your feet into the center. Come down to a seat. Move your block off to the side. Roll down nice and slow onto your back. Bring your feet towards the edges of your mat and knees into the center. Bring one shoulder blade under you and then the other. Allow the chest to be open and then relax the arms to the side. So the knees are knocked into the center. Gaze up at the ceiling. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Inhale and exhale. Breathing into the belly, starting to let the heart rate come down, letting the body cool down, but continuing to stay connected to that feeling of energy within the blood and the cells and the muscles. On your next exhale, let your knees fall over to the left. Take your left foot, if you would like, only as an option, and place it on top of your left thigh. Push your left foot and your left foot and your right thigh together. Lightly tone your right glute and reach your right arm out and back towards the back corner of your mat. Pull the belly up and in. You want to feel a big stretch in this right psoas and the right front of the hip. Take one more deep breath.
back to the center, so put that left foot down, knees up and in. Then knees to the right, same thing. We'll reach that left arm really far back. Right foot can go on the left thigh. Press the left thigh and the right foot together and tone the left glute. So it's not huge, but you can see how my hip lifted there. So it's a little lift and engagement that kind of puts me in more hip extension and allows for that left psoas and left hip flexors to get a nice stretch. Reach the left arm out and back. That's going to get into that lateral fascial line of the body and get us a deeper stretch in there. Breathe into your belly a lot. So it doesn't have to be super active in that left glute, but just keep it lightly toned for that stretch. Relax the muscles in the face, the neck, and the shoulders. You can wiggle out your jaw if you want, kind of loosen it up. Open and close it a couple times. You're in the center with the knees, just knocking into the center. Inhale and exhale. Take the feet together and the knees wide for a little counter pose. And we're just going to stay here for these last few breaths. So while you're in this pose here, just start to relax as we start to head towards Shavasana. Relax the shoulders, feel the chest open and lengthening from the sternum to your shoulder bones. Just feel the chest muscles long and spacious. Breathe into the belly. Relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Relax any muscles in your face that you still feel that you're holding any tension. Feel the heaviness of your bones into the earth, into the mat. Breathe into the residual energy of the class. Take one more big inhale and exhale out your mouth. Straighten one leg long at a time and come into Shavasana. So tuck one shoulder blade and the other, palms face up, toes pointed out lightly. You can always bring a blanket under your low back, under your knees, or a bolster or pillow under your upper back as well if you want to keep opening up the chest. Close the eyes. Think about breathing into every side of your body. Think about breathing like an umbrella, opening up an umbrella as you breathe in, feeling it expand out 360 degrees through your ribs, your belly, your back. And exhale, just pulling everything, all your breath back into your center. Inhaling, feeling the breath spread towards the very tips of the body, into the fingers and into the toes. And every exhale, bringing you back to your center, finding another space in the body to relax and to release any tension. Let your eyes be soft in your head, relaxing your eyelids, relaxing the palms and the bottoms of the feet. We'll end our time here by just taking 3 deep breaths in through the nose and gentle sighing, open-mouthed exhales. Start by releasing any air you have in your body. Inhale through your nose and exhale out your mouth. 2 more like that. Inhale. Fill up all the corners of your body. Exhale, side out. Last one, big inhale. Fill up all the way to the top of your lungs. Exhale and sigh it out. Slowly add small movements back to your body. Wiggling your toes, your fingers, running your thumb along your finger pads. Take an inhale, reach your arms straight back behind you. You can hook your thumbs and bring your feet closer in together. Point your toes and reach back from your arms so you feel lots of length, like you're growing 2 inches in your spine. Exhale and relax. Bring one foot in at a time to bend your knees. Roll onto your right side. Bring your head onto your bottom arm. Relax in a fetal position here for a moment. Place your left hand on the earth, palm down. Just take this last moment to really feel into every sensation of your body. To maybe say a word of thank you, a word of gratitude, a word of prayer, a prayer of hope, a little mantra, setting an intention, anything that feels appropriate. Slowly press into your hand. Start to come up into a comfortable seat. Thank you guys so much for joining me for class. I hope that this class serves your body well and that it leaves you feeling open and refreshed and good and mobile. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.